keep going on. I'm not going to get upset on this one. I'm telling you, I'm not going to get upset on this one. All right, everybody, this is James from the I'm Free Project. Remember to subscribe, share, and like this video. I appreciate everybody joining in on the conversation here at the I'm Free Project. And as you can see, I've grown a beard over the past, well, a gray one. Not just a beard, but a gray one. So I'm looking more like the guy who might be, you know, a little ho-ho-ho around this tree that my kids won't let me put down. I have two of them, actually, a small one and a big one for the kids. So, but yes, these trees right here, my kids won't let me put them down. But anyway, that's not the reason why we're here today. Today we want to talk about, again, one of these issues where I've mentioned before, the schools have been inundated with some propaganda that a lot of parents don't even know about. And then by the time the parents find out, it's a little bit too late, because those who are pushing particular agendas have already been to the school, or they have already put things in motion with school boards to ensure that certain events occur. So what am I talking about? I am talking about this right here. We're discussing today this new law, as you can see, that forces public schools in New Jersey to teach the LGBT history in classes. So let's get right into this, because this is so foolish. And just like other states, another state on the West Coast, California, they too have now instituted something that forces people who may have an opposing view and or belief to actually have to now teach something that they are diametrically opposed to. So let's go ahead and get into this story. So you have the New Jersey Democrat Governor Phil Murphy signed a bill last week requiring the state's public middle and high schools to teach so-called LGBT history. Pro-family critics have blasted the new law as a tool for homosexual activists to inundate schools with LGBT propaganda. And I've been talking about this for a long time, that this was going to start happening right here. And they're going to start with the young people, because if you can affect the next generation that's coming up, you can affect the new laws or people that are going to be on councils and so forth within a city, within a municipality, that can change things and the course of a city, a town, and then the nation. So let's get on back into this story. And we have someone who's on the opposing side of this, who says this is to absolutely saturate society on all levels and to begin to teach, which is to also recruit all human beings, regardless of age and gender, into the LGBT religion. Greg Quinlan, founder of the Garden State Families, he told LifeSite News. And Greg Quinlan is an ex-homosexual himself. And here he is, he's letting people know that this is to recruit. This has nothing to do with informing people of LGBT accomplishments in American history, but it's more so to recruit, and it's more so to brainwash people, young kids, into believing that it's just another lifestyle. It's just like being black, just when we all know that this is not the case. So now, continue reading. These kids are going to be getting one-sided, manipulative, incredibly biased gay propaganda. Everything will be colored lavender, echoed Peter LaBarbera of the Illinois-based Americans for Truth. And if you don't know anything about Peter LaBarbera, I would suggest you go and look up him and his webpage, because there's a plethora of information. This man has been on the front line for years as relates to homosexuality and the agenda to push homosexuality throughout America. Now, the bill, which is Bill S-1569, it mandates that school boards develop lessons to accurately portray political, economic, and social contributions of persons with disabilities and lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. Now, I hope in their effort to accurately portray this, that when they try to quote-unquote accurately portray, that they tell the truth about the entire lifestyle and not just things that glorify and make them look good. Because, and see, what cracks me up is that when CNN has their being black in America, being Latino in America, they tell you the good, and then they also get into the parts about, blacks have the highest rate of crime, blacks have the highest rate of fatherless homes, blacks have the highest rate of diabetes or certain particular diseases. Now, I hope that they too, since they want to lump them into civil rights and being just like what African Americans have been through, and that this is something that can correlate to being something that is genetic, just like being born African American, being born black, then I hope that they too will be honest in talking about accurately portraying, that they will also portray and accurately tell the truth about the homosexual community as it relates to things that affects the health of those who actively live the homosexual lifestyle. So now let's continue on. So this bill makes New Jersey the second state after California to require public schools to teach a pro-LGBT history. The bill does not apply to private schools. Now, Mr. Phil Murphy, the governor there, he had promised during his campaign he would promote the LGBTQ agenda, and advocates of Bill S-1569 claim it will benefit LGBT students. This bill is so important for our young people. Jamie Brusoff, mother of a 12-year-old transgender child, told the New Jersey Record. They need to see examples of themselves in the history being taught and in classes that they are going to each day. Now, with that being said, I hope this particular parent also said the same thing when it came to African American history and students and things that are being taught in school, because for years, African American kids did not have history taught properly in terms of the contributions that Africans in America have made to the building of this nation. But yet, when this comes out now, all of a sudden people want to have sympathy for those who might be an oppressed group. So now they have to have history lessons on their accomplishments. But Quinlan, himself a former homosexual who testified against the bill, and the committee says the law is intended to inculcate acceptance of the LGBT religion. LGBT advocacy is founded on faith-based assumptions, he told in the phone interview. Now, look at this. The American Psychiatric Association has never withdrawn or revised its findings, in that there are no replicated scientific studies supporting any specific biological etiology for homosexuality, meaning they haven't found any scientific data that will support that people are born gay, that people are born transgender. None whatsoever. But yet you want to tell me that people now have to be forced to have to teach, and students have to learn LGBT history as though LGBT is something that is biological, whereas you talk about African Americans, you talk about Hispanics, you talk about Asians, Europeans, things of that nature. That's something completely different. But yet now the kids have to be taught this history as though this is a group that, oh, they've been so oppressed. Oh, they've been brought over in chains and this and that. And so therefore we've got to talk about the contributions that they've made to society. It's, man, I'm going to keep going on. I'm not going to get upset on this one. I'm telling you, I'm not going to get upset on this one. Let's see here. But he goes on to say, unfortunately, a lot of kids won't understand that they're getting gay propaganda, and they'll come out in the world brainwashed. And that's exactly what's happening right now with the media, with mass media, with CNN and all of these periodicals and these online news outlets. They are brainwashing America. And again, they brainwash through emotion. So they're always tying emotions in with the downtrodden, with those who are being oppressed. And so then when you put that in movies and books and films and so forth, then it gives everybody wants to identify with the oppressed person. So therefore it ties in an emotional, it creates an emotional bond with that particular plight. So again, it's nothing but brainwashing. And that's been going on for years. And now we are here where at one point, people who were accepting of homosexuality as a lifestyle, the percentages were low. Now it's more than 50% now. And you know why? Because of media. Absolutely because of media. Oh, well, let's keep going. So he goes on to say, like the homosexual icon Harvey Milk, for example, was homosexually molested as a young boy and in a homosexual relationship at age 33 with a 16-year-old boy in New York City. But yet Milk will be portrayed to students as a hero, on par with Martin Luther King and George Washington. So in other words, if you're going to talk about the accomplishments of the homosexual community, then you need to talk about everything that happened. You know, you need to talk about it all, because it's a relatively new, I guess you can say, contemporary history that's going to be taught. That I would presume that's going to be taught. And with that being said, you have to talk about both the good and the bad. You have to be honest about the entire situation. So if you have people like Harvey Milk, who was reportedly, it looks like here, with a 16-year-old boy, and he's at the age of 33, are you going to tell that part as well? Yeah, let something like that go down nowadays and see what happened. So Lynn Dunn, president of the New Jersey Family Policy Council, denounced the bill for usurping parental rights. And I've talked about this, is that they will go in before the parents, and before the parents even knowing what's going down, and and slip this up under the rug, and then before you know it, your kids have been brainwashed into believing a certain ideology. This is absolutely sad. So here we go. DeSoto noted, if we're going to if we are teaching the totality of gays' impact on society, mustn't we teach of gays who were also a detriment to society? Jeffrey Dahmer, Andrew Cunanan, and John Wayne Gacy were all gay serial killers. So if you're going to talk about it, talk about it. I mean, really, if you're going to talk about it, you also need to possibly talk about the health crisis that's within the gay community because of promiscuity. Talk about gay marriage and how when it comes to gay relationships don't last half as long as heterosexual relationships. Gay relationships tend to be more open than homosexual relationships, meaning that people tend to go back and forth with their various lovers throughout the lifetime of their relationship. I mean, if you're going to talk about it, talk about it. These are the things that they don't tell people. They don't talk about the STDs, how that is typically higher within the homosexual community than it is the heterosexual. They don't talk about the health risks of sexual sex. They don't want to talk about that. So it's really sad that we're here now and we are in a place where parents are usurp their authority in whether or not their children should be learning something of such a sensitive issue. But here we are. So, you know what, New Jersey, y'all get it together. But at this point, it's already too late. The wheels are already in motion. Things are already happening now. California was first. Now it looks like following suit is going to be New Jersey, and the inundation of homosexuality throughout American culture now is already here. I mean, you can't turn on the TV or watch any show during prime time without one gay character in your face and possibly kissing their potential mate or lover. So, with that being said, remember, if you are dealing with homosexuality and that's something that you wanted to deal with and come out of, Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And no one comes to the Father except by him. Turn it over. Give it over to him. If you don't know him, get to know him. And it's all it is receiving what he's done for you by faith on the cross. Just receive it and receive what he's done. All right, so this is James from the I'm Free Project. Remember, Jesus Christ is Lord. Peace.